Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be doing a deck profile for a Nekroz or Nekroz deck, and this build is going to be basically oriented around a lot of the top builds that have been topping, and I kind of just made it to where I like it. You can definitely swap in some of the cards. Here in the side deck is not the actual side deck cards, it's just cards that you can swap in maybe if you don't like some of these cards, or you happen to not own some of these cards, because I know in some of my previous videos where I had Nekroz, some guys like, what the heck, why isn't the guy playing Colossus? Why isn't the guy playing Shrit? And the reason why I didn't play them, guys, is because they didn't exist at that time of making that video. The deck, when I played it, it was basically just like Trish, and they were missing like a lot of the cards. But nonetheless, here is the deck profile. A lot of you guys want it. This is not my build, essentially. Well, it's kind of just me taking all the top builds and kind of making it, so I liked it. But anyways, let's go and jump into the profile. Then I'll explain how the deck kind of works the way I've kind of incorporated some cards. Anyways, so there's 3 Manjus, 3 Senjus, and then we have 1 Jin, Releaser of Rituals. Some people don't like this card. I don't understand. This card is potential instant win if you go first, and if you know that you're playing against Nekroz, you can just be like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this down. If they don't have an answer, you can sometimes just beat him down and simply just win from just being able to lock your opponent out from doing anything. Next up, I'm playing 2 copies of Shrit, and then we're playing 1 copy of Trishula. I know before I was like, guys, Trishula is amazing, why wouldn't you play 3 of these? But there's this card over here, and yeah, so you don't actually need that many Trish. Next up, 3 Nekroz of Valkyrius. At first I thought this card was absolute garbage, but it can't really be bad when it can essentially be a battle fader, so that's where I like it. Plus he's got decent amount of attack and the off chance that you get him out. Next up we have the Nekroz of Branek. This card you want 3 of, hands down. And then 3 Unicorn, and then I'm playing 2 Colossus, because he's basically the Rituals. If you happen to have no monsters, you can basically just get it for free anyways. And then I'm playing 1 copy of Gungnir. And the reason why I love Gungnir so much is because it lets you protect your lock. Because if you didn't lock someone, sometimes people run the Book of Eclipse, and that basically gets around Gungnir. Personally, for me, I like Regeki and I like Dark Hole over the main decking, like the 3 Eclipse. Like some people do 2 to 3 Eclipse, and then they or do like maybe 1 Regeki. I like Regeki, and I just like the 1 random copy of Eclipse because it can work sometimes well with some other cards. But for the most part, I like Regeki and Darkhold because I do not like dealing with Dark Law, because that deck is still relatively popular. Even though it's not like high tier, there's a lot of players that still play it because Nekroz is a very expensive deck. And there are a lot of players that still play heroes, and I don't like dealing with Dark Law. Sometimes with the Dark Law and the emptiness, it's just, there's just too many problems. So sometimes like they'll just go ahead and to prevent inherent special summons, they'll just like flip it up immediately. And if they go first turn Dark Law, activate emptiness, and you activate Dark Hole, you usually win that game because you're at such huge advantage in that position. But next up, 3 Preparation of Rites. Oh, I'm playing 1 Rhoda too. Rhoda actually searches out, there's 4 cards that my deck utilizes with reinforcement of the army. And then we're playing 3 copies of Preparation of Rites, which is so OP. It's like, oh, you can only add a 7 or lower. Oh, it's cool. Branek adds everything. And then we were playing, I just decided to go with 2 copies of each, and I kind of like it. Originally, I liked the Kaladomir over like everything, but after playing the deck, just seeing how other people play the deck, I kind of just like the 2/2/2, so you have a variety of things. I mean, basically, it doesn't really matter what you want to play. You can play 1 copy of whatever one, play, 3 copies of another. It doesn't really matter. I think overall, because you have so much searchability in the deck, you'll have access to the card you want. So it really just comes down to your player preference. Next up, 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon, because Vanity's Emptiness equals game over. And then Book of Eclipse, because it does stop the Jin lock, and it also can incorporate other different plays, technically, since you're able to flip all the monsters in a face down defense position. Like I said, there's more interaction with this card, whether it be Valkyrius, whether it be the Senju, or Manju, because those get their effects when they are normal or flip summon. So that's just something that's important to keep in mind. Another thing I wanted to mention, this was ruled. I don't know if it's going to be at every large scale event, but apparently with Kaladomir, just as a heads up, you still send the monster even if they activate emptiness. You still get to Herald Search. So I think that doesn't make sense. If that changes, obviously I think that would be correct. But for the moment, this is what I've been hearing, is that you can Kaladomir, and even if they emptiness, you can still get your search off by going for Herald. And also, with Kaladomir, you apparently need to reveal the card first, so then they can just Mind Crush Unicorn. So that's just something just as a quick little tip. And then we're playing Snatch Steal because Snatch Steal is OP. I saw builds that didn't play Snatch Steal. I'm like, what is wrong with you? How could you not want to play this card? Because if you can steal someone's like Triumph card, you know, turn 1, whether it be Dark Law or just anything, sometimes it just really helps out just to be able to push for game. Maybe you inflicted a decent amount of damage or they paid life points. I just think this card overall is just way too good against the Klee matchup because sometimes they go ahead and they just go ahead and equip and then they go ahead and they just wait for a move. And then if you just steal their monster, sometimes the Klees, you know, maybe they complete their scale, they just drop a monster that they think that, oh, I'm going to be unaffected by monsters that are lower than it, and you're just like, oh, cool, absorb. So, I really do like Snatch Steal. I think this card's too good not to play. Then I went ahead and decided to go for like the little Quasar combo over here. You can drop it if you happen to not have it Exebeetle, but I feel like if you have Braddox, you should be able to afford this card. But basically, Exebeetle is just too good not to have because you can go for double Brownic, and then you can use Exebeetle's effect to equip the Quasar that was sent to the graveyard, and then you can actually send Quasar to the grave and then get rid of a face-up monster. Oh, it's actually a face-up card, so you can pop, like, you know, other cards too, or send them. Wait, it's you target one, and yeah, you send them to the graveyard, so it doesn't destroy, which is kind of cool. But then you get out a free Shooting Star Dragon. I had no idea that Quasar's effect would trigger off that, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm playing one level 6. You can play, some people play the Simuth. I think this card's cool because it's just like not as common as the Simuth. But then we're playing 2 with Herald of the Arclight, React to 0, Silent Honor Arc. Then we have Castell, Diamond Direwolf, Lavalval Chain, Emerald, Dweller, Cowboy, and I think the best card in Mirror Match is actually Rhapsody and Berserk, so you can just banish stuff. It just causes a lot of problems for the deck, because generally you can have one of these survive if you happen to have a monster out. As far as other cards that you can try out yourself, some people like Dance Princess. It gets over the Secret Village luck. There's also people that side deck effect there because it is a spellcaster. It also deals with that, plus it deals with Hermit Yokais. Hermit Yokais, like I mentioned, can technically have a decent matchup against the deck because there's really the Jin Lock doesn't really hurt them and they can just push for damage relatively quick. Obviously, this card definitely does help with that matchup, but you know, if you go through too many of them or they go for this card really just, it can technically be a problem, especially in the mirror match like I mentioned before. If you're trying to recycle, if you're trying to stall, like if you're into Jin Lock and you're trying to survive by using Valkyries, yeah. But yeah, Valor, I think it's an okay side deck card. I don't think it would be necessary in the main deck, but in the OCG, what they've been doing, guys, they've been doing Tour Guide and they've been doing Mathematician. I think Tour Guide personally is just better because it allows you to not only get rid of you know, a card, whether you want to pop face downs with something like the Ghost Trick Ollie card, or if you just want to defense up maybe Zen Mains. I really do like that build better. If you wanted to play a deck where it oriented itself around getting Jin Lock as fast as possible. I've seen a lot of different OCG builds that were trying out in the very beginning. They were doing multiple Tour Guides, and then they were just doing Jin, because Jin is just amazing, and also you can run other cards. They were doing Armageddon Knight too. That was also a card because it is level 4, and I was like, dude, they should just throw in BLS and they would be good to go. But nonetheless, you can make your build oriented around Jin. I felt like this was more relevant in the TCG because we have everything, you know, at maximum potential right now. Like, we have 3 preparations. We have 3 each. Might as well go all in. Later, we can maybe revisit, like, the Jin Lock when the consistency and, like, the recycling kind of goes down in the deck. But Granville was also a good card. Maxi, I feel like it's basically an upstart Goblin. I don't really like it against Klees, because Klees already have technically an edge on this deck once they open up a skill drain. And if you don't have this, it's almost like just emptiness, because like you can't do anything, and it just really sucks, because they can just have a monster, and they could be like, oh, I equip it, now it's too strong, you can't deal with it. And then basically your monsters really do nothing, and that really does suck. I mean, yeah, this card is decent for its attack, but I just don't think it has, the whole deck in general doesn't have a good matchup against Klees when it opens up a skill drain. But, you know, you could say that against a lot of decks. You can be like, oh, you know what, if they have Vanity's Emptiness, you don't have MST, you lose. But yeah, the thing with Klees is they can swarm relatively fast, or Floodgate, as some people like to call it, and then from there, they can go ahead and just activate a card where it's like, you can't play, and that's after they went for their stuff. And even then, they can still actually just activate like a summoner, so, oh, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and special summon all over again. But nonetheless, I just feel like Klees has an okay matchup against this deck. Again, it all comes down to who opens up with the skill drain and emptiness, but if they're going to be able to outspeed you and you don't have this, because your deck searches, your deck has a lot of potential to go off, but again, if they just have that one card where you can't do anything, yeah, it does kind of suck. But anyways, guys, oh, there's also Decisive Armor, which can get rid of towers, but I feel like the matchup is already in their favor in, well, unless you happen to have MST, it's already kind of in their favor anyways. But nonetheless, if you guys have any suggestions for this build, I'd love to hear in the comment section below, because I'm thinking about doing some streaming, playing some Nekroz, because I want to play Nekroz the way it was meant to be played with all the cards, because like I mentioned before, the previous deck profiles that I uploaded were back in the day when this card didn't exist. We had a lot of things that just didn't exist. I don't think this existed. I know this card for sure didn't exist when I was actually playing. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of the build, and if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear in the comment section below. So when I do live streaming later this weekend, I'll basically be testing out the deck a little bit more, because I kind of want to try other things. I don't want to just do like the meta. You guys know how I am. I like to find crazier little combos that you can do in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to download the deck, I'll put a Dropbox down below in the description box as well. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Azneyes signing out.